Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna be switching up a little bit. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make a simple Afrobeat type beats, similar to the ones that artists like Wizkid, Burna Boy, or Tems typically makes. So we're gonna make something within that genre, and hopefully we can recreate something similar. So typically I like to start with melodies and chords first, but I think this time around we're gonna reverse it and start with the drum pattern to really lay down the core and foundation of the Afrobeat and really get the rhythm right. And then from there we can build on the melodies on top. So with any dancehall beat, let's first change the BPM down to around 100 and 110. So let's go halfway, call it 105. Then the first percussion sound that I want to start with is a rim shot. So you have something like this. And then we're just gonna go ahead, open up a piano roll, and then repeat this across, right? And then so if you go back to our drum rack, you have something that sounds like this. Right? And then so from here, what we want to do is layer on another rim shot to give a little bit more emphasis on certain parts of this beat. The next thing we want to add is a little tom or bongo type sound. For the second ones, we're gonna lower it in tone. So we're just gonna pitch it down a little bit, down to around A. Now we're gonna go add in a kick. For the kick for Afrobeats, you typically don't want something that's very sharp and punchy. You want more of a round and soft kick. Cool, so that's basically the foundation of the beat. From here, now we can sort of take creative liberties and switch up the patterns a little bit to make it a little bit more unique and a little bit more groovy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out this kick right here, this one, and this one. I'm gonna play around with the rim shots, maybe have an extra one here, right here, another one right here, and another one right here. Change the velocity of the second rim shot that's hitting. So now that we have our pads, what we want to do now is add some rhythm to the chord. And typically what sounds good are marimba type instruments or like bells. So we're gonna go ahead and find one that we like and add that into the melody. So we'll start with a lower note in the chord, And then we want to offset some of these other chords over here, so there's a little bounce to it. So we start with this, and then we move this over. Dun, 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 dun. And then we just repeat that for this piece. And we're going to repeat something similar for the second chord. We're going to move this down an octave, and then we're going to take a chord here. And basically we're just offsetting it from the usual downbeat. That way it has an extra rhythm to it. What we're going to do now is add in a bass. And with the bass, we don't want any 808s or anything. We just want a simple bass line that will complement the melody we currently have. So we'll do something like this. Just follow the root note. Since this chord is an A minor chord, we're going to start with A. So what I'm going to do here is try and follow the rhythm of the original. So we're going to do something like this. And then we're going to repeat. But for the second half of the chord or the verse, I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to do all the way through. And then I'm going to make this a little bit more unique. Like that. And then so what I'm going to do now is really just add in additional melodies and layers into what we already have, and then from there we can go ahead and break down the beat. Let's also grab a perk loop, throw it in the background. This is 130, we're gonna have to stretch it out so it fits our tempo loop. Let's lower the volume. Add automation clip to our filter on the drum rack, because eventually I want it to open up. So it's going to be on maybe all the way up to here. And then this is when we start to bring it back down. Let's take this and we'll curve it like that. And then it opens up, right? We'll have the main beat jump in. along with the bass we'll throw in. Add the bass in, add the bass in. And then we'll duplicate this again. And this will basically be our first hook. And maybe we'll add variations into the second piece of it. So we're gonna throw in our little vocal chops in here. Let's also add in a riser. So we're gonna move this up here. Probably decrease the volume a little bit. Maybe the out a little bit smaller. Let's see how that sounds. So for intro. I'm gonna take a little bit out right before the second half of the hook. So there's a slight drop. And so this whole section would be, let's unhook it. This whole section would be the verse. Right before we go back into the hook, let's take away some of these drums right here. So it adds a little bit of pause before the beat drops. We're gonna move this over. We're gonna extend this because we don't want the beat to drop anymore over here. That's too much consecutively. And yeah, basically we have your first half of the song. This is what it sounds like. Let's keep these in it so it's a little bit more interesting as well. Let's also move this over and then let's see what it sounds like right before the second hook comes in.